What's going on, Port fans? Welcome back to another video on my channel, and today we're going to be looking at some celebrations from Port players in the past after kicking goals or after celebrations like the Premiership and certain events that have happened in the club's history since joining the AFL. Now these are all in spite of the overreaction that Xavier Dersma has got from doing his Byron Arrow goal celebration that he does after every goal he's kicked. Now obviously as a first year player, he's just enjoying his footy, and I think this is a stupendous reaction from the media and from certain AFL fans. But nonetheless, this has sparked a lot of discussion that I really wanted to dive into a little bit more and have a look at some of the more iconic and famous celebrations from players in the past. So we're going to have a look at the top 5 and comment below what you have in mind of a certain celebration that has happened from a Port player or the team in the past. So without further ado, let's get into the top 5 most famous celebrations by a Port player. Now obviously these are all my opinion, so this is how I would rank them. There doesn't really need to be a ranking system, but this is how I feel it would go if there were to be a top 5. And number 5, I mean 2014, first showdown at the Adelaide Oval, and a certain player we picked up from the Richmond Tigers, Matty White, had a sensational first season for the Power, and when he kicked his first goal for the club, doing the old pulling of the Guernsey, saying, "I'm Port Adelaide now," as famously quoted by Mark Rashuda. It went down as one of the more iconic moments to be a Port Adelaide fan and a Port Adelaide player at the time with Matty White. So it was certainly one of the better celebrations I've seen from a player after a goal.
But your White's got the pace.
Oh, he's had a ping.
He goes for goal. It could go all the way. Every showdown has that history-making moment. That could be the replay we see forever.
Number 4, we're taking it back to 2005, round 7 against the North Melbourne Footy Club. Warren Tredrea had a day out on Mother's Day. It was on that particular day, and he kicked 7 goals in a team-building performance at that time of the year to smash the Kangaroos by 42 points. And he did a certain celebration that I think many of us call iconic. Some people had no idea what was happening, and Dennis Cometti had no idea either when he was commentating at the time. But it was certainly one of the more iconic celebrations, and Shredders was known for a celebration or two. And when he did that on Mother's Day, we all thought, oh, he's calling his mum. But it was for a different reason. He was calling his friend overseas. So it was an interesting one, but nonetheless well-deserved after a stellar performance on that particular day.
Where Tredrea ran onto the foot, he kicked the goal.
Well, normally you don't call for the crowd at your home game, and then he's saying, get on the phone. Who are they ringing?
Number 3, Warren Tredrea comes in again. Now we're going further a couple of years, again against North Melbourne. So North Melbourne fans don't particularly like Warren Tredrea too much. He's had another day out in the prelim final before the 2007 Granny. Unfortunately, we know the result of that one, and I don't really want to bring it up. But that prelim final, Tredrea's kicked 3 on the day, and it was more of a form-building performance after a struggling year he had. The reason was particularly he took the bow. We're talking about the bow here. He took the bow because it was a showcasing of he still had what his best was, and he was showcasing that in a final. He's leading his team as a captain, and I think the celebration was certainly warranted. Some celebrations that day may not have been, but Tredrea certainly was, and I feel it was one hell of a celebration. And when you kick a goal like that, it's well deserved.
As Corns goes forward again for Port Adelaide. No laughing matter for the Roos. Tredrea. Oh, don't tell me. Oh, Tredrea! Party time! And thank you very much.
The 2007 final series certainly had a lot of, I wouldn't say cocky, but very much in-your-face celebrations. And first-year player at the time, Justin Westhoff, a beardless Justin Westhoff, kicked a goal against the West Coast Eagles in the qualifying final to put Port Adelaide up late in the game after a stellar passage of play by the Power. He kicked the goal. He was about 25 out. The game was still in the balance, and he's pulled out one of the best celebrations I've seen on a football field. The old chainsaw. As a first-year player, you talk about the Byron Arrow from Xavier Dersma, the chainsaw coming out from Justin Westhoff, the arrogance around that at that time of the game. Superior to watch, especially when you be there live as I was. To watch him do the chainsaw, iconic, simply. That's how you put it. It's iconic.
It's the hard stuff that he's done all night. Oh, Westhoff. He's a cold hero already. They love him. Just imagine next season he'll have shoulders, and he comes. And he kicks up. Done the chainsaw.
Number 1 on the list. Now, this isn't a player kicking a goal or anything like that. There were a lot of honourable mentions. Travis Boakes, come on. Every time he kicks a goal, he just lifts the legs up and gets the pumping of the fist going, and it's just sensational to watch. Matthew Broadbent's good energies. He was, I think it was 2017 he did that. That was really good. The goose step by Chad Corns, and any Chad Corns celebration in a showdown, it certainly goes down as one of the better celebrations. But number one, when you're a coach of a football club and you do this in a moment that I think everyone will remember in the history, the 2004 Grand Final, Choco Williams coming down from the race, crying, proud of his team after the performance they've put out on Grand Final day in front of the national comp, on the national stage, the biggest day of the year. Choco Williams pulls out the tie, does a bit of a choking suggestion, just to say, you know, we might have choked in the previous years, but now we have done it. We've finally conquered the beast of winning on Grand Final day. Our first premiership in 04, and I tell you what, it's probably the best celebration I've seen in the history of any celebrations.
Look at that. There it is. It's all over.
Well, Port fans, that wraps up this little video about celebrations. I hope you've enjoyed it. Let me know in the comments below if there's any celebrations I've missed, or some of your favourites from past Port Adelaide players or current ones at the time. We all know Xavier Dersma has been a great addition to the team in 2019, and seeing as Byron Arrow come out after every goal is just a celebration of his character, and you know, there's a story behind it, I'm sure, and it's certainly respectable, and I love seeing it. It's great to have a bit of a character on the field, and as a kid, he's just enjoying his footy. So anyone that disagrees with that is just disappointing. So good on you, Xavier. Good on you, Port fans. Thank you very much for watching. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you're new for plenty more Port Adelaide content. My name is Anthony, and as always, can't pair.